So good morning, everyone. So here we are into our 7th week of lockdown. And this morning it's a bit grey in Edinburgh, so and it's a bit chilly. However, we'll warm up as we get going. So today I wanted to do a little bit to help us with our psoas and the hip flexor muscle, because one of the things you find if you're at all anxious without even realizing it is that you can end up kind of tightening here, and that can lead to, lower back pain. So anyway, there's just a few nice little stretches that we'll do. They do involve lying on your back, so if that's not comfortable for you, you can do it you'll be able to do it from a sitting position, and you can use a wall to support you. And also, if you're using the wall, just make sure that you're nicely raised so that you're not stressing your back at all. So for those of you that are happy to go on the floor, we've got like a bolster, or it could be a folded blanket. And if you have it to the side first, so the way to do this safely is to go down onto the floor. And then once you're down, then you can push with your feet and slide whatever you're using to raise you up. You can push it underneath. Oh yeah, sorry. You also need to make sure you've got your weights handy as well. If you've forgotten them, or if they're not nearby, don't worry. You can do everything without your weights. Okay, so is everyone got comfortable in this position? So make sure that whatever height you've got, it's not so high that you're straining your back, but it's just high enough that you can get shoulders tucking under, and you can open the chest, and you can feel that you're getting a chance to just relax in the shoulders. So we're going to just take a moment to inhale and just lift the fingers up to the ceiling so the shoulders come off the floor. Exhale, down. And actually you can push down a little bit, and then inhale up. You can push the shoulders down, but as you lift shoulder blades down, as you lift the actual shoulders, and then go the other way. Push the shoulders but lift the blade. So we're kind of getting quite a nice little rotation stretch, and stretch the front of the chest, back of the chest, the front of the chest, the back of the chest. And breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Lovely. And then from there we're going to just hug our chest, and if you're against the wall, you can do the same. See if you can get right round, and then we're just going to slightly rotate to the right and down, rotate to the left and down, to the right and down, left and down. Okay, and then let the arms come up again and hug the other way, so the other hand is in front, the other arm is in front. Might feel a little crunch going on here. Get as far around as you can, and then we're rolling, 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 and breathing. Lovely, and then release. Okay, and then we're going to just take the arms up and start to make little circles with our hands. So keep our shoulders tucked under. You can have your elbows slightly bent. So breathing. Exhale to take the arms away. Inhale to bring them back. Exhale, take the arms away. Inhale, bring them back. So if you're sitting, you can just do this with the arms in front, and gradually we're starting to bring the arms a little bit lower. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. So some of you can scoop the floor with the arms. Notice how you draw your belly in towards the spine as you go. And if you're using the wall, you might be able to just touch the wall with the back of the hands as you go. Okay, and then pause. Let's start to roll the other way. So we're rotating that. Have the arms higher up, Anna. So have your hands at shoulder height. That's it. And then you gradually start to make circles. So we're increasing our circles. And if you're using the wall, you're beginning to bring the fingers, the backs of the fingers, just to brush the wall. Big circle. That's it. That's it. Lovely. Breathing. Shoulders away from the ears. Lovely, and then release. Good. Okay, now if you bring up your right knee, and what I'd like to do is just push against your right knee with your right hand. And as you push, also push the left foot into the floor. So this is to waken up the hip flexor. Breathing, really push, 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 push. And release. Take that foot down, change side. So I think if you're doing it against the wall, you can just lift up your knee and then just push your knee into your hand and resist with your hand. And then with the standing foot, can you push that into the floor as well? Breathing. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Lovely. And then bring that leg back down. First leg. Pushing again, and this time straightening out so it's your left leg, straighten out the left leg. Push and stretch through this left leg. Breathing. Keep your ribs soft. Don't do this. Don't do this sticking the ribs up. Keep your ribs soft. So the back of the back ribs are moving down towards the floor. Lovely. And then bringing that leg down, we'll switch. Pushing hand against the knee, knee against the hand. Straighten. Bend the knee, Richard, bend your knee. Bend it more, drop your heel. More. Got a right angle at the knee here, that's it, yeah. Pushing the hand against the knee, straightening out. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears, really push. So it's like your knee, you're trying to push your hand forward, but you're resisting. Lovely, and then release. So just repeat one more time if you are not lifting both legs, but for those of you that are happy to lift both legs and can keep your core, so basically if you're not pregnant, don't lift both legs if you're pregnant. You take your hands on your knees and you push both knees into both hands, really push and resist. And Vic will keep one knee bent, the other knee bent, the straight leg, you can just bend. Really push, really push, really push, really push, really push. Both hands on the knees. You should have two hands up, Rich. Oh no, you're doing one. Yeah, that's one. And then if you're only doing one leg, switch that leg now. If you're doing both legs, have a rest, and then again, push. Really push and resist with the hands. Two more breaths. Great, and release. And then we'll just take one leg down, stretch, and then the other leg down. And we'll have the arms over the head. So if you're against the wall, you can just stretch your legs out and put the arms up. That's all. And we're breathing. Lovely. And then from there, let's just bring our knees up and we're going to slide away whatever we're using. Roll onto one side and then just come up into sitting. Now, we're going to kneel. So if you find kneeling hurts your knee, you can use something to kneel on. If you're happy with kneeling without that, or you can just have a folded blanket or something. So you've got your right knee forward, you're kneeling on the left. And we're going to take the left arm up and we're going to press the hand into the knee, but just lean now to the right with that left hand. So you'll feel that stretch all the way up the left side. If you want to have your hand on your bolster, or a block, if you've got it nearby. Breathing. And release. Did you feel that stretch up the leg? Okay, let's try to the other side. So we're kneeling. And we have the left knee in front now. Catch the left knee with the left hand. So we're bringing the right arm up now, stretch it up and then go over to the left. But keep your left knee where it is. So the stretch comes up and through the hip flexors, through the psoas. Breathing. So don't overdo it, just find a place where you can relax into that. Lovely. And we're going to do that one more time to each side. So if we go back to our first side. So we've got our right knee bent. We're on our left knee, we've got our right knee bent in front of us. Right hand on right knee. Let the left arm come up. Reach up for the ceiling and then start to move that left hand over to the right. You can slightly adjust to the stretch if you want to kind of get a little rotation, if that feels nice for you. Breathing. Let's hold for 3 more breaths. And release. Okay, lovely. Really targets that area, doesn't it? So let's try the other side. So we're bending the left knee, left hand on left knee. Take the right arm up, stretching up, and then start to go over. Whoops, keep that left knee straight. If you find that easy, you can take your right hand back behind you slightly. Breathing. Lovely, and release. Well done. Okay, there we are. You should really feel that here. And that's very good for releasing tension. If you think about it, when we get tense, it's to do with the flight or fight response. So when you are faced with a threat, you tense yourself ready to run or to fight. So you find that you grip here. So what can happen when you're tense and not realize it? is you can get quite tense in here. So these are nice for relaxing that part of the body. And as I said, it can ease the lower back. Sometimes when we get a lower back pain, that's actually where it's coming from. Okay, so we're getting ourselves nice and high so that we can sit really comfortable. And if you need to be like even on a little, you can be on a low stool or a very sturdy coffee table, just so that you feel very comfortable. So as I've explained before, if you think about it, what you want is to be able to have your back stacked without having to use any effort. So if you are flat on the ground, for some people, you know, that involves using these muscles, the erecti spinae, and it's a little bit hard work, which is fine to do for a while if you want to practice stretching these muscles. But in actual fact, if you're holding the pose for longer, we don't want to put you in distress. So we're sitting up tall as we can, and so who's got their weights to hand? If you can get your weights to hand. So we're going to, if you don't have weights, it's fine. It's sometimes works almost as good if you imagine that you've got weights. So we're taking our weights and we're going to bend our elbows and then just rotate your palms so your palms face forward. Like roll your shoulders back and down. And thinking about your sit bones, let your sit bones descend so you're not hollowing. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then as we exhale, just let the weights move out to the side and inhale back. Exhale, move out to the side, inhale back. Exhale, move out to the side, inhale back. Exhale, move out to the side, inhale back. So we're using our breath. Exhale to open the arms, inhale to close, exhale to open. Inhale to close, exhale to open, inhale to close. Let's do 3 more. So if you don't have weights, just imagine that you did have weights and do the movement that you would need to do in order to support weights. And back. Lovely. And then relax. Okay. So just take a moment to recover the breath. Check our sit bones are descended and the back waist is not moving forward. Let the back waist stay back so that your rib cage is connecting down to your pelvic base. Okay, let's take our weights again. So this time we're going to point our hands. So if you're using baked beans or something, you can just hold them like this. Okay, and then exhale. Now, when we're going to lift up, but as we lift up, can you think about the shoulders moving down? And then inhale, back again. Exhale, think about the shoulders moving down. So what you want to really be feeling is drawing the belly in and up. Exhale. Draw your belly in and up, lower abdomen. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep your shoulders down. Hazel, can you activate your shoulders more, please? So it should feel, yeah, that's better. Yeah. So you want to have a bit of tautness there. Yeah, same with you, Ruth. Just draw your shoulders down a bit more and imagine that your weights are twice as heavy. So you really have to push to get them up. You have to use your core. 2 more. 1. 2. That's nice, Jacinta, lovely. 2, 2, whoa, good. And release. So hopefully you start to feel that. The thing about using weights is it just means that you get more, you would have to do much more repetitions to get the same effect than when you use weights. Okay, so sitting nice and tall again, we're going to just exhale, leaning over to our right knee. As you do that, drop the left hip. And breathe. And then coming up, lifting nice and tall. So you can just go slightly to one side if you need to, if you don't want to rotate too far, but if you can lift and rotate, go to the other side, allowing that opposite knee to stay long. So feel that in the hip. So if you get any knee discomfort, then put something under your knee to support your knee. And then inhale to come up. Great. Okay, so we'll just give our legs a little stretch now. And then let's cross the other way. Now you might need your belt at this point, depending on the state of your shoulders. So have it ready in case you need it. And we're going to roll our shoulders back and down and just see if we can catch our hands behind our back. So catch them like that. And then push your hands away. Now if that feels quite difficult and your shoulders feel a little bit restricted, you can use your belt so that you're catching, you're giving yourself a bit more space to do that. So whichever one you're choosing, and then we're really going to bring the sternum forward. Send your hands away from you, sliding them along the floor if you're, or along your bolster or mat, whatever you're using. Squeeze your shoulders together and breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Three more breaths. Keep bringing the sternum forward. And then if you like, you can just actively lean back a little bit, bringing the sternum to point towards the ceiling a little bit if you can. Lovely. And then release. Great. And then ease out. Let's just do some rotation. And loosening up these shoulders. And then we'll rotate the other way. Great. Okay. Now, this next one, we're going to take our hands and bring them onto the floor. Now, if you're quite high up, the floor might not be very close, so you might need to put some blocks or something like that under your hands so that you can touch the floor. Wanting to try and get the fingers pointing forward. Now, if you're finding that it's getting a bit uncomfortable with your legs crossed, you can do the same thing with straight legs. So we're going to have our fingers pointing forward, spread our fingers, and try and activate all the knuckles. Now, see if you can get that same feeling of opening the chest as we did with the hands clasped behind the back. Now, try and push the hands into the floor so that your spine goes really straight. You might feel a stretch in the fingers. Keep pushing into the floor, like all your hands. Breathing. Lovely, and then release, and then let's all straighten our legs out. If you I'll just swap cushions here, so if you like to be sitting on something, just adjust that. So this time we're going to have our fingers pointing back behind us, so taking our fingers pointing back behind us. As I say, if you're sitting quite high, you probably need to have like some block under, 2 blocks, one under each hand. And then we're going to push the hands into the floor and really lift and open the chest. Send the feet away. So imagine you're trying to push the hands into the floor in order to lift your bottom off the floor. That's the kind of feeling that you want. In fact, you can take the weight onto your hands and see if you can just put less weight on your bottom and more weight on your hands. Breathing. Open the chest. See if you can now look back a little bit. Bring the sternum towards the ceiling. And then release. Now, fingers the other way again, pointing forward. So we'll do that same thing. Yeah, if you find it quite difficult to sit up, you can lean back a little bit. So you've got your body at an angle. I'll show you. You can do this so you're at a bit of an angle, that's fine. And then press the hands into the floor again. And then see if you can just start to lift the weight onto your hands, and also your heels, you're using your heels. Just lifting a little way, see if you can hold that for a moment or two, and then down. Lovely. Yeah, it's amazing how you can have stress in your hands without realizing it. So we're going to just do that one more time. Fingers pointing forward again. So be as straight as you can, but if you need to lean back, that's absolutely fine. So if you can really feel the hands connecting to the floor, you can then jiggle your feet forward a little bit. Stretch through the heels, see if you can catch your weight. And then some of you can then straighten your toes, lift up more. Sternum coming up to the ceiling. Breathing. Lovely. And then release. Nice. Okay. Good. And then ease out. Right. So I want to go back down to the mat again. So Anna, if you can just wait a moment, I'll give you something else. And you need to have some sort of block or something that's solid because we're going to try something. So for you, Anna, if you do the variation with your feet together, knees apart, And you can do a kind of supported elbow balance. You know, it's like a preparing for elbow balance, opening the chest. So the rest of us, we're going to, well actually let's all first of all, we'll do the same position that Anna's doing because it's quite a restful one, and then we'll do the harder working one. So if you have the forearms on the floor, knees wide apart, and then you can just let your chest move towards the floor. You can stack your hands and have your forehead either on the floor, on your hands, or indeed on a block. Lovely, and then Anna can just stay with that one, and the rest of us can come, put the blocks in front of you, and then we're going to lie on the floor. Now if you need something under your head, then you can put it underneath. So Vico, you can do this, but you don't need the blocks, so you won't do the block thing. That's adding a bit too much for you. So what we're going to do is bring one foot, trying to get this right. So if you put your block so that your right foot, and that's my left foot, your left foot is on the block. If you can see that, I might have to move back a bit. Your left foot is, your left heel is just off the edge of it. Good. Now, bend your right knee. And what I'd like you to do is push down onto the block. So can you see that your heel is over the block? And Vico, you just let your leg be relaxed on the floor as normal. But the rest of you push down into your block so that your bottom just slightly comes off. And you can use your standing foot to push down. Actually, this is okay, Vico, you can do that. Push the right knee into the floor and slightly lift. So it's like a hovercraft, that your bottom just slightly floats, but it's not lifted very high. Pressing through the standing foot. And down. Now, bring that right knee into half position. And then as you exhale, we're going to straighten the leg on the exhalation, and inhale, bring it back. So that's level one. Now, if you want to add to that, you're going to do that while you push, while you try and lift your bottom off the floor. You can use your hands to support you. So you really, can you feel that Hazel stretch through your straight leg heel? Try and get a feeling of lifting your bottom off the floor. So this whole area becomes very activated. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely, and relax. Okay, and then change side. It's just adding a slight weight bearing into what you're doing. So stretching out your right leg now. If you find it too hard, you can just do the same thing without lifting up. You've got your left knee bent. We're pushing into the left knee and we're just slightly bringing the bottom. So you're not really lifting it, but you're, instead of having all the weight going down through your bottom, you're starting to lift it. The weight's coming down through the heel, through your shoulders. Breathing. So this one's safe to do, Vico, for you. You feel how you're just Gently activating the core, and then relax down. Bring the leg up, left leg, and we're starting to straighten that left leg. Exhale, straighten, inhale back. And if you want to add, press through the heel as you do that. 1, 1, 2. Yeah, go in a straight line, parallel to the floor, Hazel. So bend the knee and then parallel to the floor, that's it. 3, 3, 4, 4. 2 more. Lovely. And release, okay? And then we're going to roll on to one side from there. So Anna, you're fine for this. So when we go on to one side, I'll just get this handy. You can use a pillow. So you're lying on your, well, I'm actually on my left side, but the side that you're lying on, in my case the left side, you can have a pillow between your arm and your ear. You want to try and have your arm so it's in a straight line with the rest of your body. Now lift that lower waist, float up the leg. So keep both feet on the floor, check that you've got a little gap in the waist, and then we're going to exhale, float that leg up, inhale, float it down. Now Hazel, can you really lift that lower waist, take your shoulders away from the ears, and then if that's easy for you and if you're not pregnant, you can float both feet off the floor. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Keep that lower waist lifting. Richard, keep one leg down. Both legs should be straight, Richard. Both legs are straight. Straight legs. 1, let's do 3 more. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Lovely. And then just relax and bend the knees. So have a little rest for a moment because we're going to do something else that some of you might find strenuous. So staying on the left side, just bend your left elbow so that you've got a right angle at your elbow and your hands going straight forward. And then you want to have your shoulder above your elbow. So don't go like this. You want to have your shoulder above the elbow. That's really important. And then I'd like you to imagine that you've got like a hammock or something like that, a sling going around your waist. And imagine someone's pulling that sling so that your waist is lifting. Sorry, I can just tie this so you can see. So we're lifting our sling and down, lifting. So Kirsten, can we lift? That's it, lift. Now if that's okay for you, you can add to that. Is your knees bent, Anna? You can add by actually lifting your hips and down. And lift the hips and down. And lift the hips and down, lift the hips and down, lift the hips and down. Lovely. And then from there, move into sitting, and we're going to swing over to the other side. So we've got our cushion. So we're going to this time lie in a straight line, so our right arm is running along the line of the body. You use the cushion. You can bring your feet slightly forward so that you can see your toes, so that you're not making a banana shape with your spine. Lifting that lower waist, scooping and hollowing, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to exhale, float up the top leg, inhale, float it down. Now if you need to, you can have a hand on the floor to give you balance. It's really important that you lift the lower waist. Yeah, Hazel, can you have the shoulders away from the ears, please? And if that's easy for you, just float your bottom leg up, and don't do that if you're pregnant. Keep your foot on the floor if you're pregnant, but otherwise you can float both legs up. And shoulders away from the ears. Hazel, can you bring your feet forward, please? So that you're kind of hinging from the top of the leg. And can you keep your shoulders away from the ears? As you exhale, can you really stretch your leg away more? Inhale down, stretch your leg away more so you really feel it in the core. That's good. Really activate from your core. So it's not just about how flexible you are, it's about getting all the connective tissue through your leg, joining in to your core muscles. One, let's do two more. One, two, lovely. Great, you should probably feel that in the upper leg. Good. And then just bend your knees, take a little rest. Lovely. And then we're going to come onto our forearm, spread our hands. So you've got to use all your hands, your forearm, and make sure that your shoulder is over your elbow. Now we're going to lift the waist. Just imagine we've got a sling here, and exhale. Someone's pulling the sling in that direction. Relax, exhale, let the sling go up. Those of you that find that easy can then lift the hips as well. But if the hip lifting isn't really your thing, then just stay with the sling. So I would imagine if you're pregnant, I think you'd be okay with this, Vico, but probably it's just good to, if you're quite heavily pregnant, then maybe just get the sling lift going. This is working through the muscles in the waist. Lovely. Let's do three more. One, two, three. Great. And then from there, we'll come back into sitting. It's usually everyone's least favorite pose. The reason why it's quite difficult is because for a lot of us, because we're tight in the shoulders, then we put stress on our shoulders when we do it, which is, it's because it doesn't have to be like that. It's just because our shoulders are a bit tight. Great. Okay, so let's go back onto the cushion. We're going to just do a little twist before we wind down. So we'll bring both legs out. So taking our right foot, just bring it wherever you feel comfortable, and then holding around the knee to get as much height as we can. If that's easy for you, you can bring your foot closer in to the leg and also to your body, and then see how much height you can get. If you find when you put the heel in that it's quite hard to get straight, give yourself a little bit more space, because you want to feel from pubic bone to sternum that you're nice and high. And then from there, we're going to lift and start to rotate to the right side. If that's easy for you, you can hook your elbow around your knee, and some of you can then get the elbow around the outside edge of your knee. So obviously, if you're pregnant, you don't want to do that. You want to just get a nice lift and the beginnings of a rotation, and you can have your foot further away to give yourself loads of space. And just think about opening the chest and getting a nice stretch through the upper back. Breathe. Lovely, and release. So I just want you to notice with that if you find if you bind yourself too tightly in it, then it becomes a little bit stressful to do. So that's not really the idea. So that's why just give yourself the space you need, because even if you do it like this with your legs loads of space and your heel isn't anywhere near really your you know, the top of your leg, but then when you turn, you've got lots of space, and actually it's really nice feeling because you can get into the upper back. So it's even worth just starting off like this and really feeling that openness, feeling the sternum lifting, and how you can even lean back a little bit if that helps you, and see if you can rotate over to the left. Nice. So you can use your hand to push against your knee to push against your hand. And then only once that feels really comfortable, then you can, if you want to, you can bind in a little bit closer. Breathe. So that left knee's pointing straight up to the ceiling. Great, and then release. Very nice. Okay, so from there we're going to do our wind down on the floor, or if you don't want to lie on your back, you can do it lying on your side. So we'll just lie on the floor and we'll take our right ankle in front of our left knee. We can put something behind the head if that feels more comfortable. And then we're going to just catch. So we're taking our right hand through the gap to catch that left leg. You might want to catch in the thigh, or some of you can catch the shin. Or if that just feels a bit far away to catch, you can use your belt and catch around the knee with the belt. Tucking the shoulders under. And we're breathing. Really enjoy that. Just rearrange yourself so that it feels nice and you can feel the breath coming into your body. Little smile on the lips. Okay, and then we'll change sides. So left ankle in front of right knee. Take the left hand now through the gap and catch your right leg where you can manage, or you can use a belt around your knee. Just make sure that if you need something under your head, that you've just propped that up, so that you just want to make sure that your chin's not sticking up in the air. Allowing the breath to return to normal. Lovely. And then coming out of that, so if you have got your cushion or blocks nearby, just pop them over to your left. We're going to keep our knees forward, let our knees now go over to the left, and rotate so that your right shoulder stays on the floor. Now just looking along the right hand, just relax. So just adjust that position so it's really a relaxing one, and you want to feel how you, as you breathe in, the breath can really fill into your belly on that inhalation. Notice how, as you breathe in, the belly fills, rises and falls on the breath. And then let's do that same thing on the other side. So we'll swap our support over to the right, bring the knees up and let them go over. But you keep your left shoulder on the floor. So it's just up to each individual person how their body is. You might want to be even higher, or it may be that you're really super flexible and you don't really want anything under you. So it's just a question of the individual body. Just make sure that left shoulder stays down. And we're breathing in through the nose. Out through the nose. Noticing the rise and fall of the breath. Lovely. And then from there, we're going to go into our relaxation. Now, if you're warm enough, you can just use your blocks under your knees if you like. If you need to put something on, then it's important to roll onto one side to get up. If you've got a blanket handy, you could just maybe cover yourself with the blanket. So we're going to have our knees raised if that feels comfortable, or we can lie on our side if that's better. And then just letting the shoulders tuck under, arms relaxed, fingers pointing up, palms pointing up to the ceiling, fingers soft, and letting the weight of the body just fall more and more with every exhalation onto your mat. And just when you're ready, taking a deep breath, moving your fingers and toes, and we're going to just push away any cushion or anything you had. Have a good stretch through the arms, through the legs. And then let's roll onto one side. Just take a moment on one side. Noticing how you're feeling, how your body feels. Might feel a bit more zingy. And then we're going to, from there, come up into sitting so that we can finish together. So using that support, getting our nice straight spine. Just taking a moment, feeling our breath, feeling the contact of our thumbs against our chest. Lovely. Thank you all very much.